It didn't even give me a total, so I'm gonna just do it by the breakdown and see what we come up with.
And if you can, we get a balance sheet.
About your shit.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
I just left the bank and I got a balance sheet. And I'm realizing that, like, young, I think I solved my financial traumas. Truthfully, I was a little reluctant to do this video because I don't care to have everybody in my business. But I feel like this could help so many young men. Kind of want to show y'all like the amount, but what I'll do for you guys, because that's a little personal, I'll just count the digits. All right, so got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6. And just to clarify, this is just one of my bank accounts. Instead of this being a video of how much money I got or don't got, I actually want to give you guys the 3 biggest ways that I solve my money traumas. Let me say, first of all, I am not rich. I am not super successful. I am an average Joe. I don't have a bunch of jewelry or a bunch of fancy cars, but I will tell you this. I'm 31. I own 2 businesses. My mom is retired. She owns her home, and she's only 50 years old. She just turned 50. I don't rap. I don't play sports. None of that shit. I don't come from a rich family. My dad was shot and murdered when I was 15 years old, and my mom used to work in the government as a parking enforcer. Usually the problem with these like financial tip advice videos is that it's usually guys that got a crazy amount of money and they not really telling you how to get the money. They just throwing shit out there. They're like, oh, buy your first property with no money down. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. I grew up in the streets. I'm gonna give it to you like I would teach my son. But let's dive into number 1. I know this sounds so cliche, but I genuinely stopped working for money. I'm not telling you quit your job. You need a job. You need a consistent income to be able to stop finally working for money. What I did was I locked in for 6 to 8 months at my job and I saved every dollar. Got out of prison, I stayed with my homeboy for about a year and I saved every dollar. They didn't make me pay rent. I was roughly able to save 30, 40 grand. Left, got my own apartment. I bought a few necessities for my crib and for my home, and that was it. Found a new job as a personal trainer and I did the exact same thing. I locked in for another 6 months. Now I got about 30 grand, I got my own crib, and I'm back on my personal trainer thing. Now the goal was to save another 30 to 40 grand. And in my brain, it just gave me room so that I could make a mistake and not be broke again. Next, I took that 60K, actually 40 of it, and I went and bought a food truck. I didn't know shit about the restaurant industry. I know people like food. And I know having a food truck would provide me with a steady income so that I don't have to get up and physically go to work every day. And that's what I mean when I tell you to stop working for money. Don't just get up and quit your job. That's dumb. That don't make no sense. Do not do that. So now I got the food truck popping, and then I just started doing the influencer thing. I started making money on social media. It wasn't a lot. I was probably pulling in like 3-4 grand a month. See, the goal is so that both of these other entities could provide enough for my lifestyle so that I don't have to physically get up and go to work again every day. Now, these things didn't pick up for me immediately. It took about 2 years for me to really start seeing money from both of these things. And this leads me to number 2. First thing that a young black man who don't come from money do is he go start buying shit to look rich. I didn't. I kept the exact same expenses. So now between personal training, food truck, and influencing, I'm pulling in roughly around $150,000. But the key was I lived the exact same way I lived when I was just making $40,000 or $50,000 a year. I didn't go buy no new car. I didn't go buy no new jewelry. I didn't go buy no new clothes and cribs or none of that shit. I stayed exactly, and I'm still here. I still got the same car, same crib, maybe a little bit of new clothes because you need clothes, but I got the same exact expenses. Number 2, the moment you start actually making more money, don't go and accumulate more expenses. You don't need that shit. You don't have to keep up with Mike, John, and Adam. You don't have to. And lastly, number 3, this is probably the hardest but most important one. I stopped hanging around poor people. Listen, I didn't say broke people. I said poor people. The difference is that poor people have a poor mentality. I started hanging around my friends that actually had and made more money than me. What they do differently than like my poor or broke friends is they actually have conversations about money. They talk about money. Most of us are too afraid to talk about money because we don't got it, or we don't have enough knowledge to back whatever we trying to say. When I go and I sit with them, we talk about money. We talk about finances. We talk about investment opportunities. We don't talk about social media and IG and shade room. We don't discuss that shit. My boy Marcus will hit me up and be like, hey, let's do lunch today. I'm like, cool, bet. We get there, we talking about possible investment opportunities, investing in skincare brands, investing in real estate. These are the type of conversations that make your brain fucking peak and you start to realize that there's money outside of what you already have or outside of what you believe to be possible. I know this video is long as fuck, but if you want financial freedom, bro, you need to implement these 3. That's just a start, because I'm still learning my damn self. Again, I'm not rich, but I have financial freedom. I can now do and move how I want and not have to worry about checking my account. Not that money is everything or solves all of my problems, but it allows me to now focus on real issues in my life. And I cannot focus on real issues in my life if I constantly have to worry about money. You feel me? And I hope this video helps, man. Good luck.